everybody. I hope you're having a good morning and for that matter, a great day. It's been a while. Yeah, I know. My uploads have been a bit inconsistent as of late, but today I wanted to react to the newest video. I wanted to get this reaction out as soon as humanly possible. I know I've been relatively inconsistent, but they revealed 3.0 or whatever. They revealed their trailer for 3.0 of Genshin Impact. And I'm super excited because it has one of my most anticipated characters that I've been excited for even before I knew truly her impact in Sumeru, which after seeing her impact in Sumeru, I even want her even more. I've been saving up for her for a while now. Good old Nilou. But yeah, no, she's coming in the second half apparently. I have over 100 wishes saved, and I'm gonna have even more because she's still not going to release in the first half, which is kind of annoying, but yeah, no, today we're just gonna react, or I'm gonna react to the new trailer. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Anyway, let's get into the video. Okay, here we have the new video by Genshin. You know, good old Hoyoverse. The video is called 3.1, version 3.1, King Deshret and the 3 Magi. I'm not very familiar with what Deshret means, but I mean, cool. Let's see how it is.
I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms?
Ooh.
It was only after I grew up that I realized it serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us.
We've waited a long time for this day to come. Fate has finally dealt me a hand to play against the Academia.
Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no
There's
one.
Candace.
A shield is not enough to protect the most important things. That's why
And
must
here's the
also
new
use
character,
spear.
Candace. Golden Vow. Oh, she weaves in spear polearm attacks with her shield.
Grant us your blessing.
Interesting.
You've betrayed our root village. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yeah, there's Sino. Of course. The other big release, other than Nilou.
Through me, justice is served.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that voice actor.
We should speak up and,
And
let
then-
our voices be heard.
Nilou.
Positions.
I'm so glad. I'm gonna go over most of my thoughts near the end. I just want to let it play.
All eyes on me.
Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Feelings of desperation are widespread.
Traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the most.
One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Ah! Is this the new boss? That's also a new boss. So there's 2 of them. Cool. One of the raptors, it appears.
Answer me this.
Ooh!
Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more.
I expect Dia is gonna be in
My
the next one.
experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
Ooh.
There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era
What the hell?
is coming to an end.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Okay. And then this is just gonna go over the events and what happens, I assume? Or... Ooh, there's more.
I am
Even
Mika,
more.
surveyor of the reconnaissance company. I will now be reading Grandmaster Varka's letter aloud for you all.
Does this mean the Grandmaster knew Razor's parents?
Who?
Fill up the barrels and store them away. Then wait for a windier day.
Apparently we're also
the
getting
bottles, seal
Mondstadt
them
stuff
tight.
next patch.
For the south wind that soothes, for the north wind that bites.
And it's gonna be
Dear friends,
Razor-centric.
Let us now open the wines.
To the Animal Archon!
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, so I see. There's gonna be a bunch of events centered around Mondstadt because it's, you know, fall is typically the harvest season and the producing time for wine. So that makes sense. But a bit unexpected in the same right. Ooh. But yeah, no. Okay, I have so much to talk about. There is so much to get into. I'm just trying to sit back and just let it all play. It's 6 minutes of densely packed information, and I'm like, wow. It doesn't appear like any major things in the events. These are just very similar events that they ran last year, or even events that they ran this year, but like earlier in the year. There is so much to get into. Not even talking about the story stuff, there is absolutely so much to get into. So, for the story stuff, talking about Dia talking about how she was kept out from the scholarly places because she's an Emerite. We already know that there's a large conflict between the scholars and the Emeridians, or whatever, however they pronounce their name, the Emerites. They really don't like each other. This is really two clans clashing it out. And it seems like most of that is coming out in this big expansion to the Archon quest. Which, if you remember, there was that little section in the Archon quest that released in 3.0. There was that little section where we got to meet Alburn? Or what's his name? The buff dude who shows up later. But he was trying to explore, he was sort of a scholar who's trying to explore why the Emerites are, you know, resurrecting the Crimson King. Understandably so, they're doing it to try to revive the god that once gave them such great power, but it's a bit, you know, it's a bit complicated getting into the specifics of everything. Other than that, dragon?
Wall really blocks sandstorms?
A dragon? There are dragons. Cool. I just absolutely love the look of the desert. I think that this pyramid is one of the most beautiful things that they've ever added in this game at all. Like, it's just so awe-inspiring. And, like, you can see it from the distant, you know, from, like, the towers and in Sumeru. You can see this giant pyramid in the distance, and I'm just like, I'm taken away by it because it's just honestly one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. Of course, we're actually going to be doing stuff with the pyramid, which I thought they might save for a later section in the Archon quest, but it seems like this Archon quest might have more acts than the Inazuman and, you know, the Leeway and all of those. I think this one's going to have a bit more spread out acts. Maybe not spread out, just more acts in general, because it seems like this has a bunch of things to it. I mean, they've already given us 2 acts for 3.0 and another act in, you know, 3.1. So I'm curious on whether or not they're going to be adding more acts in general just for the heck of it. You got the new introduction of these, whatever these are. These appear to be some form of enemy as like a defender of the tomb of the Scarlet King, which I assume that's what the pyramid structure is actually going to be known as. It is actually going to be the tomb of the Scarlet King. And then we get into learning Candace. Candace is going to be on our side, apparently. Sino doesn't like us right away. That's kind of obvious. We're sort of an intruder going into their nation from the scholarly side, so we're probably not going to be as appreciated as a local. Candace, I expect, is going to be more of a character that comes to help us and sort of protect us, and that's why she has the shield and this idea that she's sort of this, you know, defender. And Sino is, you know, if you betray anyone, and Sino's not going to have anything with it. Obviously, he is the judicator, the main. He runs a faction, I think, inside of the desert. I forget what they're called, but he's like the leading general or whatever. You can, Kali has a line about it in game about how Sino is like this person. I mean, overall, he seems pretty interesting. He doesn't seem to be a huge fan of any of the scholars, which is fair. They sort of are very hostile towards his people, so it's sort of understandable. And when the Scarlet King died, his people were sort of left to the wayside, you know, by themselves. Of course, I think Dia might fall somewhere in between these two clans fighting, since she works on the scholar side and is, you know, not directly in opposition of the scholars, but not directly for the Emirites either. I think she's going to fall somewhere in between. That's my prediction, at least. Nilou, she's just coming out this patch because they needed another 5-star and they wanted to release her decently soon, and that's completely fair. I mean, they kind of need to release her soon. I'm happy that she's coming out. I know that not a lot of people are going to think that she's good because I've already seen most of her like stat spreads and the stuff that has been leaked out. And she's not very strong, but I'm going to love her either way, and I'm going to try to get her. I have just an absolute ton of wishes that I'm going to spend on her, but I can't wait for when she comes out. Other than Nilou, I'm honestly surprised that they're not releasing Dia. Like, they gotta release Dia next patch, right? Like, she has to be a 3.2 or 3.3 member, right? Right? Like, she's having so much build-up as, like, one of the important characters in the story. She may not have as much, you know, plot relevance as some other characters, but I expect she's going to play a bigger part in the future. So, I don't know. The 2 new bosses are really cool. We've sort of seen them. Robots, you know, it's cool. They just released a bigger Rune Drake or whatever they're called. That makes sense. That needed to come out. The other thing also. The most unexpected part is this part.
Now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
Like, what the heck is going on with the Fatui and the Snezhnaya? What the heck is going on here? The Harbingers are just, they have their own thing. This is teasing that Catherine dies?
There is no need to fear.
And then Scaramouche, what are you doing?
Pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
Yeah, like it feels like two very detached stories. I'm sure they'll weave them in together some way, you know, whether that be through Catherine or other things. I'm sure that there will be some way we weave them in, but I expect we'll go to the desert for the first half and then we'll come back to Sumeru City for the second half of the Archon quest. I don't know whether or not this is also going to be another 2-act thing where they release Act 3 and Act 4. I doubt it, but if they do, that's a ton. Another 6-hour, you know, Archon quest is going to be quite a lot. But overall, and then we have stuff like this, like where we go back to Mondstadt for this character.
I am Mika.
Mika. I feel like Mika is one of those characters who is eventually going to be added as a playable character. He has the vibe of it, you know. He's probably a vision holder, and he's going to be the main event person, which may or may not get a bigger thing later on, you know, released as a 4 or 5-star character. That's my prediction, at least. I just, like, for the first half, I sort of expected the desert stuff, you know, with the stuff with all of the Emirites and all of that. That was sort of expected. I sort of knew we were going into that area. But I had no idea anything about the Fatui and how Scaramouche plays into this. I have no idea how they're going to even incorporate that story. It's so like far detached, but I'm sure they'll weave it in really well. That or they won't. I don't really mind either way. I just find it really cool. I honestly think that Sumeru so far has been one of the biggest, coolest releases that has happened at all in all of Genshin. I know that comes with some recency bias, but also the story is just to another level than all of Inazuma, than all of Liyue, than all of Mondstadt. I'm so attached to most of the characters in Sumeru. I feel like they actually build a lot of them up. I feel like they've, you know, weaved in enough characters that it doesn't feel like we're not going to get a Chasm quest that feels like it's absolutely 100% removable from the game, you know, where you could just remove the Chasm and it's like, that was a thing? Do you really need Yulon to exist? And that event was just also like to another level where it's like, you don't really need that event. That event was just the world quest or the Archon quest. Why is that an event? Either way, it seems really cool. I'm super excited for Nilou. I'm super excited for Sinnoh. I think his character's going to be fun. I don't think I'm going to be rolling on Sinnoh or anyone because I'm still saving for Nilou. I want to guarantee that I get a Nilou. I know how horrible of me. I currently have like 100-something wishes saved up and like tons of pity. I'm trying my hardest to grind out enough without having to pay like a ton of money, as I encourage most people to not pay a ton of money. I mean, I like spending money on this game because I genuinely find this one of the coolest games that has come out in the past like 2 years, 3 years, however long it's been out. It's almost 2 years, I'm pretty sure, coming next September, but it's been a while. It has been out for quite a while, and I think it's really cool. I find most of these events to be minorly recycled, which is fine, you know. I'm okay with a bit of recycled events. It seems like we're going to get some Razor lore. That's kind of cool. Razor's one of those Mondstadt characters that I feel like doesn't get a lot of emphasis or lore. Sort of like how Fischl was, you know, not a very in-depth. Fischl and Mono were not very in-depth until they released the last summertime event, which was pretty good. But overall, I'm excited. I genuinely think the pyramid's going to be absolutely amazing. I find all of next patch is probably going to be really good. The Archon quest looks good. Everything looks good. I hope you guys are excited as I am. If you are, you know what to do. But I'm going to be covering it when it comes out. But I'm super excited. Hope you guys are too. But I think I have to call it here. Honestly, not much else to be said. Just super excited, super loving it. I find that they build hype for the game really well nowadays. But, you know, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys, and goodbye!